Well, I just got done a meeting with the electrician. We discussed how the electric power could be put in. It's going to be an underground service, so that's a little bit different. And I've been looking for the pipe that they put out for weeks. Couldn't find it. 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. He just walked around, stepped, went, oh, what's this? Oh, there it is. So anyway, we found the pipe that goes to the transformer box that had been put out so we can easily tap into it. That makes life a whole lot easier now. And tomorrow I've got to head back to Maine, have a little break, and then head back to Vermont with the truck. That should be an interesting day. Today is Tuesday, Monday. Yes, days all run together. But today's a whirlwind day. I'm going from Burke, Vermont to Acton, Maine. Have a little break, and then from Acton, Maine to Burke, Vermont. I got to go back to get the truck because hopefully this week I'm going to get the snowplow. So I've got to go down to White River Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know which. Lots of potential things happening this week. I may end up going tomorrow to Burlington to look at a trailer, but I'm a little leery on that one because the lady was, I made her an offer on it. She said yes. She has no way to deliver it. That's fine. I said we could work something out, find somebody. And when I offered to give her a deposit, there was like no response. So I don't know what's up with that. You know, whether it's a divorce type situation, she doesn't have the title, I really don't know. So I'm waiting on that, but I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. If it works, it works. If not, then I'll look at some other ones and see what other people have to offer. But, and then of course there's always the lawyer thing, which could happen any day now, which then will make flights and head back to Luther to close in the house and pick up all the stuff that we left. Oh, and of course the panels are supposed to come for the house today. Not today, this week. So it's going to be kind of a busy week of this, that, and the other stuff. Here, there, hopefully getting a bunch of stuff done, but like I say, well, I think I told you yesterday, the concrete guy says he can't do any concrete work until last week in August. So I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do? I just stopped for a couple minutes because there was somebody driving who was like, the speed limit's 50 and they were doing 35, and this is one of those roads there's really no place to pass. So I was like, I don't know, you know, how do you drive that slow, 35 miles an hour on a road like this? But they were, and I said, well, I'm just going to stop here and get out, stretch my legs for a minute, and then I'll get back on, and hopefully I won't catch up with them. Ah, yes, just gets better. Now instead of going whatever, we're going even slower because they're paving this road. What a joy. these roads really are not made for bicycles. That guy was, I mean, there's just not, it's not really his fault. There's nothing there to ride on these roads. It doesn't have a bike path. They're not super wide. I don't know. I wouldn't ride on this road. But on another note, you know, I'm sure a lot of people would be like, okay, you've had all these delays, this thing after another, concrete delays, closing on a house delays, lawyer problems, you know, basically one thing after another. That it would be, I don't know, I don't think the right word would be upsetting, because it is upsetting, but like mind-boggling, total aggravation, drive you mentally insane, that kind of thing, couldn't take it. There's probably people who would, but I mean, luckily for me, it's just one of those things that it is what it is. So there's no point in getting all worked up about it, getting your blood pressure up just because it's happening this way, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's, you know, it's in the same league as hoping tomorrow's going to be sunny and 80 degrees and it turns out raining. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. So you just have to adapt and move forward with what you can do. So that's how I look at it. But I know a lot of people that I've talked to are be like, oh God, I'd be a total wreck, total off the wall basket case. Luckily, I don't know, nature or whatever gave me that ability not to get crazy in the head about things like this, because there's nothing I can do about it. Almost there. This will be the first half of the journey. Right now I'm in New Hampshire, but a few more miles I'll be in Maine. Then I'll be there. And you know, this is to me is basically a boring trip, because I've done it so many times over the years. I can't tell you how many times. So it's like, yeah, it looks scenic and everything else, and you see some nice stuff, but it's after you've done it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, it's just a drive. I'm back in Maine, and remember I told you just deal with things? Well, this is one of those that it's a good thing I'm here and not in the Bahamas, because the lawyer writes and says, oh, in order for one of the stipulations is you're going to have this Bahamas Investment Authority thing. Okay, great. Get the piece of paper. It's been paid for. Get the piece of paper. But even after you get the piece of paper, you have to show proof to the Central Bank of the Bahamas of a wire transfer of the funds being paid for the property originally. And I said, that was 15 years ago. How am I going to go back and find a record that may not even exist anymore? So you're telling me that I could be the owner of this house for eternity because I can't find the piece of paper that was a wire transfer? And I don't even honestly remember 15 years ago whether we wire transferred money to buy the house or whether we brought a bank check down to buy the house. So if I had brought a bank check, there would have been no wire transfer record or any of that kind of stuff. And I didn't. But suppose I had bought, and this is what I'm arguing back and forth with her, suppose I had brought a suitcase full of money down and paid cash for it. I mean, real cash, you know, paper money. And then I just said to her, look, what if I had bought this property in 1940 for $10,000 or $5,000 and just, you know, took it out of my suitcase and gave it to you? There's no record of it then. How am I going to prove it? I said, isn't having the deed with your name and everything on it proof enough that you paid for it? Or do they just give out deeds these days to anybody who asks for one? So today, this afternoon, I wanted to rest before I go back to Vermont, but this isn't a very restful, let me tell you. I am so done with everything down there. So done.